Greetings, all. My name is Mark Gunn, and if you want to find out more, you can go to CelticDownload.com to join my mailing list, where you can get some free music and whatnot. This is something a little bit different. I want to use more video in the year to come, and thought I'd start off with my successes and failures, followed by my goals for 2017. So we're gonna jump straight into that. So 2016 rather was I think it was a pretty good year for my music. Of course, 2015, my daughter Inara was born, and I decided that I should take it a little bit slow, a little bit low, not so high energy, not doing nearly as much. And so 2016 was a sort of continuation of that as she starts to get older. 2017, well, she's hitting the terrible twos. She and I know I'm not going to be doing nearly as much. My wife is also graduating, so there's a lot to take in consideration. But in the meantime, I thought I would. I make some plans for what I can do to grow my music business. Like I said, 2016 was a good year. One of the biggest accomplishments for me was that I finished Name on My Soul, which is the album I've been wanting to do for a long time, featuring the title track. It's one of my most popular album songs right now. I have a lot of people hearing it, requesting it, and I have really been excited about putting that together. I did it with under the name Kilted Kings with my music partner Randy Watkey. We played together at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival, and the album doesn't officially come out until February 2nd, 2017. So you're not too late. I kickstarted it last year, and it was a good Kickstarter. Not great, but I think we raised like $3,500, which that turned out to be about $2,000 shy of what we actually needed. I did not plan that quite well enough, but we're slowly paying it off. Hopefully, with the CD release, the official CD release, will catch up with payments of everything that needs to be paid off. So that was good. Dragon Con success was a good year. They had some really good shows. The Firefly Drinking Song show. I brought in Mikey Mason. He was awesome. We had a great time. The Hobbit show was Hobbit Drinking Songs had lower attendance. It was a little bit smaller, but it was still a rockin' amazing show. I just learned that the Tolkien track is no more at Dragon Con. It's being merged with the fantasy and literature track, which sucks. So I got to figure out if we're going to be able to do a Hobbit Drinking Song show this year. Well, we shall see. Another success, the comedy showcase at Gen Con was fun. We had a great lineup. I think there's only one act that I was like, well, if I had known what you did, I would not have booked you. But everyone else was awesome. It was a funny show, and I'm looking forward to doing it again in 2017. So now I'm also planning on making a few changes um, to it. I'm going to see how this goes overall. Like I said, I like doing this. I like helping all these artists. The sales are not there, and I haven't figured out how to encourage sales at this show. I set it up on Thursday nights, mostly because I wanted to try to get people to be inspired to going to other shows later in the week. But um, I remember the first time I did that with the Broadway Night Game Bards in 2006-ish or so. We sold a lot of CDs. I think we sold like 90 CDs, and that after that show, it was incredible. Now that was one of those moments, but but it was still incredible. I would like to see something like that for someone at the show. So we'll see. The Cat and Firefly shows were also really well attended, and because of it, I earned an extra $500 for those 2 days. I am going to add to my sci-fi drinking song show was not as well attended, and I don't know how much of that is the show I think sells out, but how much why it is. I think I'm going to change the name actually. That's just something I came up with right now. I think I might be set it up as like geek music or something like that, just to try something a little bit different. I've done in general, sci-fi drinking songs. It's done really well, but I might try a different theme this year. We shall see. Uh, but I'm also gonna plan on changing it to a paid show because, not because I'm trying to make any money from it. It's more importantly, it's just that people sign up, they want tickets, um, but then they don't attend. Now, if you buy tickets and you actually have to pay extra for them, people end up paying, actually coming to the shows. So I decided I'm going to do that for that reason. I found a great balance. One of my successes was I found a good balance between taking care of Anara and work. Part of it is because I've been cutting back on how much I'm doing. I'm doing like 10 to 15 hours a week, which isn't much. Um, Plus a few other things, but I don't have a whole lot of time um, to spend hardcore work. But I'm working hard during those times, and that is been really good. But mostly, it's like Anara. She's going to daycare 4 days a week. One day she stays home, so I get to spend a little bit more time with her. Um, and at this age, you kind of really want to spend more time with them, even if they're terrible twos. Um, uh, but she's been great. Um, and the timing has everything's worked out. I'm really happy how working, having a child at home plus daycare and then plus work and taking care of family. I think I think it's been a really good year for that. The Celtic invasion of Cornwall was an awesome success. I know there was a few issues with driving. We spent a lot of time driving, but overall, it was just an um, incredible vacation, and we got to see some great stuff. I finished my first music video while I was there, which was totally awesome. And in fact, I made two videos. The second one was when I went to Cambridge, and that's just awesome. It's great to see that I'm uh, having success um, with music, creating these music videos. I'm one of my goals for this year, as I'll say in a little bit, is making more music videos. I think I might have said a little bit too ambitious of a goal, but that's okay. I saw significant growth on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast Facebook page, far beyond what I planned, and that's largely due to that I've been advertising, spending some of the Patreon money that I earned there to advertise, and that makes a big difference. I'm getting a lot of new signups. Not everyone's staying, but definitely saw a growth in downloads as well. I don't remember I think it's like an 8% growth. I'm not good at figuring out those math statistical numbers, odd, but I know statistics fairly well. But I haven't figured out that one, but I think it was like an 8 or 9% growth over the year before, and a lot of that was from advertising. Um, but I also saw a big growth in the Patreon supporters this past year. Patreon sent out a notice, and it was a very nice, respectable growth. If I could keep that up, the show will all the advertising will definitely pay for itself. Plus the additional help that I've been getting. One of the big successes, hired someone to help out with some small tasks that I don't have time for with the Celtic podcast, and I'm hoping to have him do a few more things in the days to come. It's the nice thing about having these Patreon, yeah, people supporting me on Patreon, whether through my music or through the podcast. The podcast, of course, is doing really well, and because of it, I have a lot of supporters and I'm hitting big goals, growing stuff, and able to hire someone when I need some help. Um, Success saw growth of Celt Father downloads. That was the podcast. I don't remember how much it grew by. I didn't check those numbers, but the Celt Father podcast, as well as the Pub Songs podcast, were both um, under undergoing changes. I list here also a failure that I'm unhappy with the Celt Father format. It needs a redesign, needs to be about my music and creative process. Um, so I'm making a change. I'm actually planning on posting this over on the Celt Father afterwards because I think this is good music related um, podcast worthy information. One of the things I'm starting to do is I'm going to record I'm gonna try to record at least one song and some upbeat, some special notes for the coming week. News rather. I'll start off with a song that people can get into, and then I'll have a little bit of news about what I'm doing. And that way, I can hopefully people will go and listen for the song. If they don't want to hear the news, they can just turn it off at that point in time. Um, Working all those details out, but yeah, that's the basic idea. Uh, but the podcast, nevertheless, it grew in the number of downloads per episode. I think I was listening to Libsyn podcast, and they give stats, and I think the show is like in the 50th percentile, nevertheless, for downloads. It only gets like 200. I think the last show got like 228 downloads per episode, and that is pretty significant for most podcasts. Now, the Renaissance Festival podcast, I think, gets about 1,200, 1,500. The Celtic podcast pulls in about 10 to 12,000. So that's, I think, in like the 95th percentile, which is pretty awesome. But I needed to grow. Again, another success that I posted is I found a way to hire a virtual assistant for the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. It's also Todd Wiley, who is not only helps me at Gen Con and is an awesome guy, but he's also has his own podcast that occasionally he publishes. He's been out of it for a while, but so the Celtic Podcast is now earning $450 per episode on Patreon, which it's less than my goal. I think I was aiming for 500, but that is super successful, and I have a format to help increase membership. Like I said, with the mailing list, I'm trying to build a mailing list. I'm trying to use it as a turn the whole podcast into a benefit for the Celtic community. Each week, I publish Celtic music news and list the new Celtic CDs that are released. Again, Todd helps me with those things, but that's just fantastic. The news is related directly to the bands in the latest episode, and it's just good to it feels good to be able to help out all these bands, not only with the music, but also by sharing their news and helping them grow. I've only had one band who got annoyed by the fact that I was tagging them 3 or 4 times a week. But that's one out of, hundreds. So that's just the way it works. The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast mailing list did reach its goal, but with drops and deletes, it did not. But I learned new ways to add subscribers, as I said already. What I mean by that is that I don't remember. I set a goal for how many, and I'll go through the goals a little bit later. Of how many people I want to add to the mailing list in the coming year. And then, but what it is, a lot of people subscribe because they want to get the 34 Celtic MP3s for free. Go to CelticMusicMagazine.com to sign up, or bestcelticmusic.net. But people will sign up, try to get the 34 Celtic MP3s, and then it's the mailing list, which is a shame because I'm really proud of how the Celtic Music Magazine is right now. I share a little bit of editorial comment about latest shows and news, podcast related news, which is also repeated in the podcast, but there's links. That's the great thing about it, is that there's actual links that you can go from. When you listen to a podcast and you're out for a run, you're not going to go and follow the links, but if you get a newsletter, you can find that same information in the newsletter, which is kind of awesome. So very happy about that. And like I love the format. That's another success I list, is the Celtic Music Magazine, best format ever. Plus, I list all the new Celtic CDs and have links to all the albums. I'm going to make a minor changes in the days to come, but very minor. Started adding weekly video ads, which earn me new subscribers. So one of the things I've learned with video advertising is to be able to do short 15. I've been doing 30 to 45 second little videos where I say, here's who's in the podcast. But now I'm changing it to trying to keep it even shorter, 15 to 20 seconds, where I'm basically saying, here's the latest episode of the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Go get it today. And those have been really good for attracting new subscribers. more so than like being able to. So I with Libsyn, I can have all the videos, all the shows are converted into videos and posted directly to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast page. And once it's on that page, people can listen to it, but people will only listen to, people don't go to Facebook to listen to podcasts. They can, but they don't usually. I don't think. Maybe you do. Let me know. It's also posted over on here on YouTube, but this is on my Celtic Podcast YouTube channel, which is now separate from my personal one. So if you are currently expecting Celtic Podcast content, go to the other one. I'll have to find the link for that. But in any case, the short videos are really successful for that. All right, more successes. It released Pirates vs. Dragons. That's my newest album. The album topped the charts. I think it broke to number 9, as high as number 9 on CD Baby, which is pretty awesome. But best of all, I had fun making the videos and telling stories to promote the album. One of the best things about that whole album was, and the reason I chose to do it when I did is because I wanted to create a story. I wanted to just have fun, and I got Laramie Williams to play Gus, and we put on a show. And I don't know if anyone enjoyed the show, if people watched the show. There is I have a playlist of many of the videos. It started with my Kickstarter and then goes on for a while, and I probably will continue going on next time I see Laramie, or maybe sooner if I get the gumption to do something. But it's been fun. I really enjoyed creating that album, like I said, as well as the music videos that I did for it as well. My personal Facebook page grew way past its goal, and yay! I'm really excited about that because I think in 2015 it didn't grow at all. I might have lost a few people, and that's really sad. But like I said, I wasn't. I mean, I could justify it by saying I wasn't actually doing much with my Facebook page. Which is true. I wasn't. I was trying to focus on taking care of an infant. Now though, I'm trying to get back into doing music stuff, promoting music, creating new stuff, writing songs, creating new stories, storylines and whatnot. And that's definitely been one of those big challenges. I want to do more. And so it's great to see that the Facebook videos are growing it. I haven't figured out the best way thus far. The best thing I've done was the music videos. When I released A Pirate's Confession, I put it on Facebook, and I did some advertising for it, and I got a lot of new fans that way, which is awesome. Success, lots of successful Facebook Live events. Yes, I'm really excited that I've been on Facebook Live, and I've had a lot of great success there. In fact, I would be doing that there, except I don't know. As a musician and artist, you sometimes feel like you're not. You feel uncertain about the things that you do, and I just didn't want to share this directly over there. I figured no one would probably watch it over here, and, which is true. I don't think I've had any viewers thus far, and that's okay. I will, like I said, I'm going to cross post this to my podcast, which hopefully those are the people who actually will be interested. And it also helps to keep from being distracted too much by all the people, commenting. So that's always kind of nice. Success, gained lots of new fans by re-releasing the Celtic Christmas podcast. That was really awesome. I was basically putting the Celtic Christmas podcast episodes directly into the Facebook page, and then tagging everyone, and it just went really well. It was very. I had a lot of new people sign up to join for the Celtic Christmas podcast. However, I also, and for this is I consider success, I realized I need to stop it. That is a busy time of year. I'm not going to be doing the Celtic Christmas podcast in 2017, or I don't think so. I might end up doing one, but probably not. Maybe one farewell one. I don't know. It's tough stopping anything. When I start something, I'm like, I got to keep it going. You can't stop. But it's time to stop it, because it adds more work during a busy time of year. I already have the Irish and Celtic music podcast. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 Celtic Christmas episodes instead of 1, and for the Irish and Celtic music podcast. That's my goal. Another failure that I listed was did not re-release many Celtic podcast episodes. And one of my things I want to do is I have all this what's called evergreen content, past episodes of the Irish and Celtic music podcast, which are good shows and need to be heard, need to be re-promoted, so I can help these artists once again. And that's my goal, is to try to help out artists once again in the future, so that they keep getting heard, even if it's old content. It's not new stuff, because there's a lot to share. All right. Success. Set up several mobile-ready websites to work in conjunction with advertising to grow mailing lists. I think I mentioned this last year, is that I've been trying to, so my WordPress sites have failed me. I've been repeatedly hacked and run into problems. I'm upgraded to a new server, and I'm still running into problems where the site is down, which pisses me off beyond belief. So I set up a new website on Lunar Pages, or maybe someone else, I don't remember exactly, which is not on the same server as the Mark Gunn and Irish and Celtic Music podcast. And it has just the mobile ready websites that I've set up. These are sites that are basic, simple HTML. They look good on mobile sites. They look okay on regular sites. It's mostly about capturing emails to get new signups to my mailing list, and it's been good. I have several of these sites now working and looking good, and I'm excited. I'm hoping to be able to use those in the future for promoting my music and whatnot. So awesome. Failure. I released the Celtic Geek album instead of Irish Smiles to the mailing list. Still unsure about the title, not seeing significant interest in the free album. So one of the great things about having over 20 albums is that I have a lot of music that I can give away for free. And my goal has been to try to build my mailing list using some of that free music. Say, hey, here's some free music. Sign up to my mailing list. Stick around. I'll send you some more. And I've been doing that. I've been putting at least one new MP3 each month, which is awesome. But I'm not seeing people get excited or signing up. I'm not getting that many signups to my mailing list, my personal mailing list. That needs to change. I need to figure out a way to make my mailing list grow. And so I had the album that I released through my mailing list was called A Celtic Geek, which sort of reflects my musical style. But I don't feel like it's really attracting that many people, and I don't know why. The original title that I wanted to use was Irish Smiles, and I might try that, changing the title. It's the one great thing about releasing an album and being able to name it what you want, I think Irish Smiles would probably be more fitting. The album is about half traditional Irish and Scottish and half geek. So it is Celtic Geek, but I don't know if that's a great title. I'm still debating that. Yeah. But in the meantime, I've changed the free downloads to 5 MP3s, which I think sounds good. I don't know why, but I feel like it sounds really good. So I'm planning on using that as basically giving away the full 21 songs that come with the compilation CD. But we're starting out with just 5. Here are 5 MP3s when you sign up. After that, you can get 5 more, and it's just kind of awesome building it that way. Um, Success. Had a few weeks where I was losing weight and it was down to 192 pounds. I'm back up to 200. But this was largely because, well, another success was I learned a running tip to make it easy and fun. So in the past couple years, I've been doing walking on and off. I'll admit more off than on. Um, I haven't been very committed to exercising, but exercising is something that I know I need to do. I want to do, um, but it hasn't been until the last few months that I really got really inspired. And so I think it was August that I was down to 192, and I was wow, look at this! This is awesome. um, and I was really excited about how things were going. And then the holidays hit, and I put it back on. But walking was not doing it for me. Running was, when my legs were feeling okay. Uh, but one of the reasons I've never cared for running, mostly because of the way running has been done. I've always been a big stride guy, long strides, running, and that's I tell you, it's exhausting. Keeping it up over long distances is very difficult. I used to ridicule people who would shuffle pretty much when they ran, and I found it's easier. And my blood pressure, my heart rate gets up, because I'm still running, but I'm not, running with these huge strides. I found a nice balance. It's working, and I'm hoping to keep that up in 2017. I went running a little bit this morning, just 15 minutes, and it was awesome. Probably a little bit less, but hey, oh well. Failure, need to figure out how to exercise even in the cold months. Yeah. Yes, few days ago, I was running this weekend, actually. I was downstairs in my office right here, just running circles for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And it was my Gwen came in and was like, "What the heck are you doing?" But I needed some exercise and I had to find some way to do it. Say hi, Tode. Hi, Tode. Um, Failure. Haven't started advertising cat websites, even though it has an email series. Need to write 15-second video ad for a cat series. I have catdrinkingsongs.com, which is a great website for my cat products, and I'm looking to do sea shanties for cat lovers in the future. But I haven't really done much advertising for it. The sites, I've had no new signups in a long time, and so it's not growing. I need to do something about that. Failure. St. Patrick's Day Internet Festivals still did not meet expectations, though it was easier to manage, discontinuing in 2017. Yeah, I migrated all those videos into one long video file, but it really hasn't been any successful. My original goal was to get some musicians excited and working together to promote the festival and see growth. It did not do that. Doesn't it happen? So, oh well. Success. Johnny McCracken's. Playing the pub once a month was awesome. I had a great time this year. A lot of more regulars are showing up. Um, the overall attendance has not grown much, and I am trying to figure out. I'm hopeful that we can do something a little bit more. I'm hoping this might be a breakout year. I haven't set the date for the first show, but I really want to do something big once again because it's a great opportunity, but it needs some work. So we'll see what I can do. Failure, did not reach out to do more podcast interviews. That was one of my goals, and I did not try to get on more podcasts. Success, realize I need to focus branding in geek music. So my entire career, I've been doing the Celtic music thing, and I've created a big empire, as I once said, for Celtic music, including the Irish and Celtic Music podcast. But My music is not Celtic. It is geek music with a Celtic twist. It's not Celtic music with a geek twist. It's geek music with a Celtic twist. That's that small little phrase is marketing how you approach something mentally, meaning I need to be promoting to sci-fi conventions as opposed to Celtic festivals. Now, maybe one day I'll end up getting booked at more Celtic festivals. Who knows? I'm not trying to, because they are not my target audience. Even Johnny McCracken's, I know, is not my target audience. My target audience is is our geeks, and if I could find a pub that was doing geek music, allow me to do more geek music, to focus on doing geek music, I think I would do better, and we'll see. That is my goal for 2017, is to focus on the geek music more than the Celtic stuff. As far as like recording music, I will be recording stuff, some Celtic music, but particularly with Kilted Kings. But even when I do solo stuff, I will still be doing Celtic songs, but not nearly as much. I'm not going to be doing a full album of traditional Irish and Scottish music because, quite honestly, those have been my lead. Well, okay, the Scottish album's been really successful. The Irish one has been not so successful, and that might be partially the album cover, maybe, but it's just not been. Success saw a boost on Patreon to 93 members and $487 per month. That's how much I've started to earn. I'm almost to that $500 goal that I think it's actually dropped a little bit. I think I'm down to 467, but and I had a couple people who dropped out recently, but um, it's been growing slowly but surely, and I want it to grow more in 2017. To that end, I have some interesting marketing ideas that I want to do, including offering a $10 discount to anyone who signs up to Patreon at shows. Now, obviously, that requires doing the shows and properly selling my stuff at shows. I'm looking at you, Johnny McCracken, where I do a horrible job of trying to sell stuff. But patronage is the future of definitely success with my music. The other thing that I'm looking at, and this is another idea that I decided on, was to release my next CD through Patreon instead of Kickstarter. Um, Imagine if I could pull in $3,000 in a month um, on Kickstarter. I mean, on Patreon, where people are paying that basically monthly. Yeah, so I decided I haven't figured out exactly the way of doing it. Um, obviously, anyone who becomes a patron will get a digital download of the album. That was the lowest tier level. But then how to set up the other ones, because I don't want to add other tier levels, like I don't want to do that. The $25 per month one, the $50 per month. I don't want to do all that. $100. I mean, maybe I should. I guess I'll weigh the cost. The problem is that I'm not releasing enough CDs to feel like that's valuable to you. I don't know. I will debate this in my head and see what I come up with. If you have thoughts, let me know. But I'm definitely going to do it through Patreon, because I want all those Kickstarter people to be patrons, and where I'm trying to provide more content, more value in any case. So it's to me, it's a no-brainer. This is why you really want to be there. So stay tuned. Success developed an almost solidified online music marketing strategy. I have organization is not my strong suit, but I broke things down earlier this year, a couple months back, where I was like, okay, what are different things for? When do I do Facebook Lives? When do I do put out a blog on Tumblr versus a blog on my own website, which might end up getting deleted at some point? And that's good point right there. When do I put something on Instagram or Flickr or something? And I have a better strategy now. like including like the advertising, including the posting new podcast episodes and such. There's just a whole lot that that has me going, my mind working, and I'm really excited that I have a better grasp on this. Still not ingrained, but it's better. Success found other bands that fans like besides me. Good for advertising. Oh, did a request recently asking which bands that you like besides me, and I wasn't looking just for Celtic bands. I was looking for bands, and I got a great list. And this is good for advertising because everyone, whenever you're doing music promotion, they say, who are bands like you, and basically that's saying what other people, if people like your music, who else might they like, and then you can advertise to those people. Gaelic Storm was a big one, I think, on my list. Celtic Thunder, I think. So yeah, it was a good learning thing. Failure, still haven't developed a good format for my newsletter. I like the first newsletter, the first newsletter I published this year. It looked good. I think it was pretty straightforward. I might make a couple changes, but overall, I was very happy with it. Failure, still haven't released a music marketing book. This is something I've been planning for forever. Since 2005, I think, 2004. When I somewhere around there, I was planning on doing a music marketing newsletter, basically all re-releasing all the articles that I published for the Bard's Crier many years ago, plus a few new ones that I've written. Oh well, I'm gonna try harder this year to see if I can get that done. Release the Pirates versus Dragons ebook. Not sure how successful it is to promoting my music yet, but my goal was to try to use it to promote the book. The book was written by Sheridan Rose, but it hasn't done outside of the initial release. I feel like it's fallen short, but I'm happy that I released it nevertheless. Success developed a work schedule, and that's one of the things that I'm working on right now is a new schedule for how to do work and get stuff done in a timely fashion. Failure, have not practiced or done songwriting, put songwriting into the work schedule. Practice has long been the bane of my existence, and I am recommitting myself in 2017 to doing more. Last night, I had a good 2.5 hours of music practice. I was working on the song Hallelujah, working on some melodies, just going through practicing some of the songs I'll be doing at Maggie McGinnis Pub in a couple weeks, 10 days actually. It's been going great, so that was a good start. I'm going to do at least a weekly practice schedule, hopefully twice a week. Knock on wood. Failure, developed a social media plan, but haven't implemented it. It was a really good plan, but just pulling it together, it involved a lot of videos and staying on top of video production, and I just haven't. Right now, I made these two good videos. The A Pirate's Confession. I love that. It's a good story. The second one I think was it was a good one. I feel like it hasn't gotten nearly as good a response, despite the dragon I have, Kinsey turning into dragons. It was kind of awesome, I thought. But I guess the story might have been a little bit lacking, or maybe the song. I don't know. Whatever, the video hasn't caught on nearly as well as the first one. And then I did the last one I did was a mix of pictures and a little bit, mostly pictures, but some video of me basically for Christmas. It was Christmas in the Shire, and I opened up this picture book, and then all the pictures of Aleb, a long expected party, my Hobbit gathering that I do each and every year, happening this September. I went through it. It was kind of awesome. But it was nice. It's sort of a nice change to the videos and such. So I was really kind of excited about how that worked. I'm hoping to do more in the future, but I'm trying to figure out what types of videos to do, I want to do a variety so that to try it. I don't want, part of the problem is coming up with a good story. I want to create these great stories, and I've been so unsuccessful creating great stories. Um, yeah, and that's my big challenge, trying to do that. And so, I mean, one of the things I want to do today is actually I need to get to in a little bit is I get back to creating a video for the upcoming CD release on February 2nd, Kilted Kings, Name on My Soul. All right. Uh Finally, success develops an editorial calendar, which is nice to have. I haven't looked at it in a bit. I need to. Should go back to that. Failure, the hustle. I'm too complacent at most shows. I need to work harder to get new fans to my shows. When I started off with the Broadway Night Game Bards, I kind of whipped us into shape. We worked hard together, and that was largely me saying, "All right, we gotta keep going, keep going, keep going. We gotta, And I hustled, especially since I became a dad. I don't hustle nearly as much, and I need to do more of that. Maybe not this year, but definitely next. Well, I mean, it shows definitely both times each year, but next year, I think will probably be the big year because Inara will be at a much more respectable age where she will be less crazy, I hope. And we'll see how it goes. But all right. Goals. It is time to talk about goals. Those are all the success and failures for 2016, like I said, and some of these are going to be a little crossover, but overall, I've been super happy with everything here. I forgot to write down how many, looking at the goals for 2017. So, we're going to start with the Celtic podcast. I like to break those up into the two things: my music and the Celtic podcast. For the Celtic podcast, we 2015 we had 1,872,000 downloads of the show. In 2016, I think it was like 22,100,000, somewhere around there. Which it was a nice growth, like I said, 8 or 9%. I'd like to see, which is I look at like 2015 to 2014, and there was a much bigger growth. Although this one actually is comparable to 2014, 2013. I'll try to put these stats in my blog post for you. But if you're interested, my goal is to increase the podcast listenership to 20,000 downloads per episode per week. That's pretty intense, I gotta say, because right now, like I said, I get about 1,200. I get about 1,200. I think 12,000 rather, after about 30 days. Maybe up to 15, but not much. So that's a pretty intense goal. We shall see if I can pull that off. I think that was my goal last year too, and I got nowhere near it. Now, that said, I am, like I said, the per week listenership has increased of each episode. I need to check to see what that is. That would be interesting to follow up on. I should keep track of those numbers. Increase Celtic mailing list to 5,000 subscribers. Right now there are 3,349. So that means I need to boost it by 138 per month, 5 per day, which is a big challenge. Now I'm getting a lot of new subscribers to the podcast, so far so good, but obviously keeping them is going to be a big challenge. Boost Celtic Facebook likes to 12,000. Right now we are at 8,400. I think that's attainable. 298 per month, or 10 per day. Maybe it's a little bit big, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Celtic Podcast hit $750 per episode on Patreon. That would be amazing. One of the goals, if I hit that, is to hit a Celtic festival, so that might get me to a festival just for fun, if I can pull that off. Here's hoping. Right now we're making, I think, $459 per episode. So that means boosting it by $24 per month, Patreon. Now, the other big thing I want to do is try to help out bands. So I've been trying to make a list of the active bands that are still Celtic bands who are doing stuff, and I want to help. My big goal is to help these bands, to make them grow. And so I have bands like the Selkie Girls, Burning Bridget Cleary, Halsa of Hamel, Gothard Sisters, of course, Pochine, of course, Mithril Duo, Black Market Haggis, Alchemist Razor, Shillelagh, Kelter, Jed Merrim, Colleen Rainey, Bana Deja, Socks in the Frying Pan, Runa. These are some of my favorite bands on the podcast. I try to help them out a lot. They're all independent. I don't know if any of those. These are all independent bands, bands who are doing it themselves. Some of them might have helpers, but these are some of my favorites. I didn't put the Elders on there. I need to add them, but I made some. I've already starting to plan themes for the show, for the podcast, and so I created a 3-month schedule and set up the plan for the next 3-month schedule. So, which is again thinking ahead. I haven't thought far ahead for the entire year, but it's a good start. So those are my goals for the Celtic podcast. I'm not getting aggressive with trying to do much more than that, than what's listed there. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing the Celtic music news and the new Celtic CDs, because the Celtic podcast, I love doing it, and I love helping all these bands. But my music, I started the podcast to promote my music, and admittedly it's a little bit diverging. If I'm doing geek music with a Celtic twist, that's a little bit of a divergence, and I still planning on keeping the podcast going, but my music is what I need to be focusing on, and I'm going to try to stick to that. Now, the Celt Father, my personal brand, music brand, is the other thing I listed for this entire year for both these brands is working together, togetherness, getting trying to work with patrons, trying to work with listeners, trying to work with fans, gun runners, to help things grow. And that's one of the big things that I want to do with my music this year, is work with you creating. Now, right now, I want to boost. I'm listing. I want to boost my personal mailing list to 2,000 subscribers. This is the one on Aweber. I'm pretty much not actively trying to grow the mailing list on Reverb Nation anymore. So my current mailing list is 366. That means I need to pull in 136 new subscribers per month. Probably not going to happen unless I get a big hit. But nevertheless, it's a goal. It's not out of the realm of reach. I mean, if I got a placement for one of my songs and on a movie, hey, which maybe that should be one of my goals too, try to get a placement. I think it'd be very likely to reach that if I can find a way to extend my reach. It's one of the reasons why I also want to work with people, is I need help. I need help to reach beyond what I can do. Everything I do is social media, mailing lists, podcasts. That's about the extent of my reach. One of the reasons why I want to do more video is I want to extend my reach even further. So boost Facebook likes to 5,000. Right now I'm at 3,100, and that's a boost of 158 per month. Again, very big. That's probably about 3 or 4 per day. I know I'm not getting that right now, so I'm already behind. But again, not out of the realm of possibility if I can find ways to extend my reach, which I need to put that as one of my goals: extend my reach. Get interviewed on 10 podcast or radio shows. That's going to require actually reaching out and trying to do something, trying to reach more people, and I don't know how. but I want it to grow. So I'm setting aside time in the evenings for me to do, to be a part of podcasts and whatnot. So I'm hoping maybe I can do something like that, but we'll see how it works out. Boost Patreon to 300 members. Right now I'm at 93. Um, if I was to do that, then I'd be earning over $1,000 per month, probably. And that means I need to increase my membership by $43 per month. Again, if I do this, the album release through Patreon, then it's possible. I might be able to do it and pull this off, but I just don't know. We shall see. Fund my next CD through Patreon to boost subscribers and whatnot. So just crossing my fingers. Crowdsource my next album. One of the other things is I've been hiring musicians to help me do the album, but it's time to. One of my favorite albums to create was Don't Go Drinking with Hobbits, and that one was totally crowdsourced. I asked my friends on Facebook who wants to play music, sing along with me on this album, and I had a whole bunch of people volunteer. It was awesome, and the album sounds awesome because of it, and I want to do that again. I just want to work with more people instead of the way I've been doing it. I just don't like how I've been doing it. It just hasn't been as inspiring. So I'm going to reach out and find new people to work with. Release one music video per month. Well, I listed one. That's attainable, I think. I think I had two. I had two that I wanted to reach before. No, I think I changed it. Good. Probably. Nope, I didn't change it. But if I can get out one new music video a month, that would be awesome. And of course, then I could also, I want to release one live music video per month at least. That might be more. I was listening to a podcast, Amy Porterfield. She did one. Bold New Moves was the title of her podcast, and it was inspiring because it was talking about doing something that's something bold and dramatic to boost your marketing. And one of the suggestions was like doing more video. So I want to try to get on video more often. I think I'm gonna. And right now, well, I have this idea where I could do like a video, basically trying to do 5 days a week of video. Obviously, I came with this idea this past weekend, but it got me thinking about doing it every day this week, and obviously I haven't done anything. But here I am on video. Woohoo! Something to start with. And then I could, take it. I'm recording this to my digital recorder and maybe cross-posting it to the Kelp Father podcast. But one of the thoughts what I was doing, and I did a audio version of this, was to record a show where I'm playing music, or not a show, but one song. Just do one song and then share news. I think I said that at the beginning of the show, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Write 4 new songs per month. Did I really write that? Oh God, I do need to. The past few years, I found that I have not been writing music as much as I could. I write on inspiration rather than perspiration. And that needs to change. It's one of the reasons why I'm setting up my weekly practice schedule. I want to write more. Obviously, the next one is release Name on My Soul, which February 2nd coming out. It's already set up on CD Baby. So good start. Finish updating websites to mobile ready. Most of those are done. Most of the main ones are done. There are a lot of websites that I have set up that can go for this purpose, and I will be setting those up slowly but surely over the coming months as they're important. I don't know if I should say finish because there's a lot, and just if I could do 5, actually, 5 would be good. Making like catdrinkingsongs.com mobile ready would be a much better use of my time. Uh, and I'm Amber Hansford has been turning my web WordPress websites into a MU, multiple users, maybe. I basically so that I can manage them all from one spot. I don't have to, like, if there's updates, I can update it once and not have to go through 10 websites. We set that up at the beginning of last year, and it's nearly done. Ugh. Which should make it easier to keep from people from hacking my websites again. Release music marketing for cat lovers. This is the book that I'm coming up with the title with. Short music marketing success tips from popular musicians is another idea part of it. But I haven't settled on this name, but it hit me that, one of my most successful marketing moves was releasing Irish drinking songs for cat lovers. And I was thinking that I should call my music marketing book that. It's one of the many titles I've come up with over the last few years. But I kind of like it because it's not for cat lovers, which is the bad part about it. But it might attract certain people that would realize that that this is attract people because of the title. What the hell is this about? Why would people be music marketing for cat lovers? That's my thought process. Thought versus action. We'll see. Released the Hobbit ebook. So Reese Sheridan Rose wrote a whole bunch of articles that I published on hobbitbirthaysong.com. I forget the URL. I never remember it. Happy Hobbit birthday. But it's basically a site for Hobbit birthday parties, and I turned it into an ebook. I have a cover. I just need to publish it. So help promote my friends. I need more friends. Mikey Mason, Matricula, Andrew McKee, and Devo Spice are some of the people who I listed. These are some friends and musicians that I love. I need to find more people to help out. I mean, not just through the Celtic podcast, but also the geek side. That's the main thing that I was meaning by this, is the bands that I think are really good and who need additional promotion and who I can help out. Tom Smith, there's one. Blibbering Humdingers, awesome guys. All right, so those are my goals. I also want to, get my weight down back to 190 or so. I want to cook better, create and learn a new recipe each month. I've already started doing that this week. It was I scheduled my dinners this week. It was awesome. I want to learn a little bit more Gaelic to be able to look at a word and say, "Oh, that's," instead of would be great. Now, the other final thing that I have is my Q1 goals. Of course, the CD release of Name on My Soul, music video for Sláinte Mhath, Name on My Soul music video, 5-day concert series leading to CD release, and a 5-day concert series for St. Patrick's Day, and crowdsource a Firefly EP. Of course, that means writing a couple more songs for the Firefly EP. But I haven't hit that goal, which is $500 per month on Patreon. So you can help me finish that Firefly EP by becoming a patron. All right, that's all that I have. Again, if you want to find out more about me, go to markgunn.com. You want to become a patron, go to markgunn.net. It'll take you over to the Patreon page. And of course, go to celticdownload.com, where you can sign up to my mailing list and get your 5 free MP3s. 5 free MP3s, and then the next day you'll get the rest of the album. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I didn't bore you too much, and you found this interesting. If there's anything I can do for you, any way you want to help out, any way you want to comment, just comment. You can post a comment here or email me, markgunn@gmail.com.